because I saw like this stupid ass video, which what was it called? Um, oh yeah, David Cross, Why America Sucks at Everything, and he talked a lot about European healthcare. I am from Europe, as you might be able to hear by my accent, so here's the reality of like how I only know the healthcare systems in Germany and Austria for like from a very personal side because I grew up in Germany and I currently live in Austria. And so I know a few things about the actual healthcare thing. So the first thing is that he said like American healthcare is one of the most expensive healthcares in the world, and actually no, that's the German one and the Austrian one, because what a lot of people don't mention, what people don't put into the statistics of the general healthcare cost, is a little factor where we have to consider that the employer and the employee both pay a certain amount, like 50% of the cost for the healthcare. So actually, it can be for when you're really poor, can be between 400 up to and $400 per month. Things that are not covered by your healthcare is like if you lose a tooth, there's very good chance that you gotta pay for the replacement fully out of your own pocket. The only thing that's gonna be included is actually the painkillers that they inject to you. If the wisdom teeth things, it's so funny, you only get like this thing that makes everything numb, but you're there through the entire process. If you want to actually get like not be aware of it, you gotta pay for that too. A lot of medicine is what you also have to pay for. You have longest waiting times because like if you need a specialist, like everybody can go there. A lot of people will go there. So you have a long waiting period, and outside of an appointment, there still will be a lot of patients that show up like as emergencies. They have to get treated. Do you think specialist that is actually working the entire day and has like, I don't know, one day could be like 300 people to take care of? Do you think they might make mistakes because they are totally overworked? And for the stress they have, they cannot book as many things. And this is mostly for the big cities, but there are a lot of big cities in Germany. So that is one part of the healthcare. The other thing, like David Cross actually mentioned, I think this man is very biased, was the fact that Americans pay less taxes, but apparently they pay more for everything and blah 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 blah. And this is why like the European services are so much better. Let me tell you a couple of things about those great European services. Firstly, if you consider all of the taxes that Germans pay, the actual amount of money they actually pay, the actual amount of taxes goes up to like 60% if you have like the general income that usually includes what they pay before taxes, not what they actually have after taxes, which is usually like up to 50%. If you consider and there's a thing like on your receipt you get from your employer, some things are left out and only the employer side knows that. So the actual tax rate of like what you get from your wages is still like 60% of that already. And then there come a lot of additional taxes like consumer taxes. Electricity is getting like highly taxed. Most of it is actually taxes. Depending on whatever you consume, there are more taxes on a note of other things. So in the end, you don't really get to keep a lot of your own money. And one could say like, but you have the bureaucratic services, which are so filled with nepotistic people who do only try to get money into their own pockets. No, the services don't really work well. Let me get into a little fun story. Well, let's say you get into unemployment. Yes, you do get money from the state. Got to give that. In Germany, it actually includes paying for rent and electricity, and then you get like I think $465 or something per month, which is left over for food and additional things. That is if you're single, and if you live on your own. So, and the depending on like how you argued for like you needed this kind of like they actually pay for the entire rent there. Here's the other issue. They're supposed to also help you to find a new job, and again, a lot of people are overworked. A lot of the bureaucratic stuff in Germany is still done in paper, like it's not digitalized, and and a lot of the offices, they don't have technology that actually can communicate with each other. They have to do it via letter. They don't have software that is comparable with each other. So like all of the time you gotta refill the new data. It takes a really long time, and applying for anything can take some time. So you've got that, and even in the healthcare system, like a lot of money just gets swallowed by bureaucracy, so it doesn't go anywhere, and there's still a lot of issues there. And back to the employment thing, it's funny because they are supposed to help you to look for a job. What they instead will do, there's this massive market of leasing companies. And let me remind you, you pay money, tax money, for these people to help you to find a job. The leasing companies kind of do the same thing. The thing is, like, you will be hired, you will be out of the jobless statistics, and these leasing companies still might find something for you. And of course, because no service is free, they also take some money out of your wage for that. When I worked there, I had like an hourly pay of like €8 and $70. That was with before paying taxes, right? And what they were actually charging was like around $30 per hour from the people who would hire me or use my labor force. And I can see how I should pay for that service. Sure, makes sense. Like, yeah, I kind of get it. I get it that it's convenient because we're leasing stuff. Like, it's to go around like around a lot of the bureaucratic hurdles of like companies maybe needing to figure out if you're a decent worker or not, and so on. They can get around with that. They can let's say like, yeah, go home. No need for you anymore. Bye. So much for the contract laws, right? You just need to bypass everything. So that worked great, and you pay for two times for the same service. Like the leasing companies are actually doing what the unemployment offices should actually do. It works so well, right? So like, could probably like just get away with all of that and save a lot of money. That could work, but they don't talk about it. Like that's the great bureaucratic system, and as I said, like it goes into every other field too, where you gotta have the physical files, which of course like takes more labor force to take care of, work with actually keep sorted so they can find things. Finding things physically on paper is a lot more harder than doing it digitally, but they still didn't manage to fully do that. It's 2022. Oh my god, the internet services and everything, like it doesn't really work well there because of like a lot of government laws. They can't get the best services, and you might go to even travel to Berlin, and inside Berlin you might have internet, but depending on which provider you have, the entire thing the net can be overloaded, like, and you have full reception, but like you still don't have internet. Why is that? That is a common thing. As soon as you leave any bigger city in Germany, ooh, watch your data being like, oh, it's gone. Like, literally, you can just step outside of Berlin, take a 15-minute walk outside in any direction, and probably there's a good chance that you're out of service. Still paying a lot of money for that. And it just translates into field after field after field. So, and